Hey everybody, this is Thomas from Nurse Money Talk, and in this video, I'm going to answer another question that I got, which is pretty much when are you no longer considered a new nurse or a new grad nurse? Before I get to that though, if you are not already subscribed, I want to go ahead and invite you to hit that subscribe button. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit that thumbs up so you do not miss any of my upcoming videos. Also, make sure you stay till the very end because I'm gonna show you a link that you can go to where you can actually post your question that you've been maybe looking for, been wanting answered, but you haven't been able to get a good answer to it. And hey, you might actually see it answered either on the blog at nursemoneytalk.com or see it answered on this YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and get started with pretty much addressing this question, but kind of real quick before I get to that, you might be wondering, why is it even important to know when you're no longer considered a new grad nurse? Like, why does that matter? Why would anybody care? There is a couple of reasons why you would want to know this, know the answer to this question. So the first one is to know exactly which jobs you can apply to. If you're a new grad nurse, for instance, it's kind of obvious which jobs you can apply for. So if you go to a job board, so like my job board at nursemoneytalk.com/jobs, and you start looking at job postings, a lot of times it's going to be pretty obvious that this is an entry-level position or it's for a new grad nurse. It might even say like it's for like a nurse residency or whatever the case is. So I think where this gets a little trickier is for the nurses who just recently graduated, but they actually took a break in between graduating nursing school and also applying for like a nursing position. And so I think that can get really tricky for some, especially if it's been like a substantial break. I mean, and I've seen nurses where they graduated and it's like months and months out, maybe even over a year, for whatever reason, like they still haven't applied and started working as a nurse. I'll talk about that a little bit more here shortly. And the other reason why, as a new grad nurse, you might be interested in this question is if you want to leave your current position, like you just started a nursing position as a new grad, and you want to leave it. But if you look at like job postings, a lot of times, they're going to require probably about 1 to 2 years of experience, and sometimes even as much as 3 years and more for experience before you can apply into those positions. And that actually gets me to kind of like something I want to highlight, which I coined it like the new grad nurse limbo. And that's when like you've quit your nursing job, like your very first job after you graduate nursing school. You quit that job, but you quit the job very early on, like when you've had like probably like less than a year of nursing experience. And so what I feel like that kind of gets you into a weird scenario where like you can have too much experience for a position that's meant for a nurse with no experience at all, but yet you don't have enough experience for a position that's meant for an experienced nurse. Now, I'm not trying to imply that this is like the end of the world or that you can't come back from this or whatever. I'm just saying that it's kind of puts you potentially in a kind of like a very weird like limbo spots. And the weird limbo can potentially make life probably honestly a little bit more difficult than you would probably prefer. So that's why generally, like, I highly encourage trying to stay for at least 1 year in your new grad nursing position, preferably 2 before leaving. But if you are going to leave for whatever reason, probably like trying to secure that second job, so have that one already in place before quitting your current job. And if you're looking for a job board, you can go to nursemoneytalk.com/jobs. We also have a form on there that you can fill out as well. So if you don't see anything you like on the job board, you can fill out that form, and then you'll get notified once your the job you actually want is posted. So with all of that said, here are kind of like if you want to say the general criterias I'm using to kind of say when you're no longer a new grad nurse. Now, keep in mind, different hospitals, different facilities and whatnot are gonna have their own definition, their own requirements. So this isn't, like, I don't want you to think that this is like a hard and fast rule. It's not. General guidelines, probably just to keep in mind, maybe even kind of like some discussion points or something to think about actually as you kind of figure out what exactly you want to do and what's best for you in your current situation. So generally, I would say that if you've been working for more than a year in a paid nursing position, you're probably not going to be considered a new grad nurse. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be considered a nurse with a lot of experience, but as far as like the new grad nurse is concerned, probably not. There's another scenario where, like, let's say you don't have 1 year of experience, but it's been 1 year since you've graduated or since you've had an active license. I think once again, you're probably not going to be considered a new grad nurse. Once again, probably not a nurse with a whole lot of experience. And then what about a scenario where you've had your license for more than a year, but you have no paid nursing experience? At that point, you would be applying to new grad nursing positions is how I would break it down. But like I said, not a hard and fast rule. If nothing else, probably reach out to a nurse recruiter to be sure. But I'm just thinking, like, if I was looking at job applications myself, that's probably kind of like, that's like the same kind of frame of thought or general guidelines I would use to figure out what I would apply for. If you have a question that you would like to ask, make sure to go to nursemoneytalk.com/ask. And there you can read the guidelines and whatnot, and then you can go ahead and ask your question there. And then who knows, you might actually see it answered either on NurseMoneyTalk.com or on this YouTube channel. Now, if you are about to graduate, or you have your license but you haven't started working as a nurse yet, I'm going to put a link in the video that you'll see that'll show up over here, and it will be to a video that I made where I talked about some of the best jobs for new nurses. So if you're still kind of up in the air and not quite sure what you're gonna do, definitely make sure to check out that video. And of course, as always, ask whatever question you would like on this video or on that video, or nursemoneytalk.com/ask. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will catch you very soon in that next one.